Alright, I'm gonna say this right off the bat. This move might not look flashy, but don't scroll past it too quickly because there's actually a lot going on here. The Toronto Blue Jays just made a trade, and it's one of those under-the-radar moves that could end up mattering way more than people expect. And when you combine that with everything else happening right now, injuries, role changes, guys coming back, this is one of those days where you actually need to pay attention. So instead of waiting for that to happen, Ross Atkins picks up the phone and adds insurance. Now, let's be real about MacIver. He's 29 years old, he's not some top prospect, and he's not coming in to suddenly become a star. That's not what this is. This is a guy who's been grinding in AAA for most of his career, with a solid track record at that level. We're talking about an OPS around .850 over a large sample size, which is actually pretty respectable. And yeah, some of that comes from hitter-friendly environments, but production is production. You don't accidentally put up numbers like that over time. He's also got a bit of big league experience, not a ton, but enough to where if he gets called up, he's not completely overwhelmed. That matters more than people think, especially on a team that's already dealing with inconsistency. And here's the part one actually like about this move. It gives them options. He's not being forced into the lineup right away. He's heading to AAA. He's depth. But if something happens, he's there. Ready. Available. And in a season like this, where injuries keep popping up out of nowhere, that's valuable. Now, to make room for him, they DFA'd Tyler Fitzgerald, which, let's be honest, doesn't change much. He didn't really get a chance to make an impact, and this was more about roster flexibility than anything else. But again, this isn't just about one move. This is about what it represents. The Jays are not sitting still. Even with a rough start, even with the record where it is, they're still trying to fix things. They're still making calls. They're still looking for edges. And that brings us to the bigger picture, the injury updates, because this is where things start to get really interesting. José Berríos is continuing his rehab in AAA, and everything sounds positive. That's a huge deal. Because when he comes back, that's not just another arm. That's someone who can stabilize the rotation immediately. And it's not just him. If Berríos and Savage both come back, someone in that rotation is getting moved. Probably to the bullpen. And the name that keeps coming up is Eric Lauer. Now, if you've been following the situation, you already know that's not exactly a smooth fit. He's made it pretty clear he prefers starting. So, if that move happens, don't expect him to be thrilled about it. But at the end of the day, this isn't about preferences. It's about performance. And right now, the Jays need results more than they need comfort. On the flip side, you've got Jeff Hoffman, who just handled a tough situation the exact right way. He gets moved out of the closer role, and instead of complaining or making it about himself, he basically says, "I'll do whatever helps the team win." That's the attitude you want, especially in a clubhouse that's trying to stay together during a rough stretch. Because let's be honest, losing the closer role is not a small thing. That's a big deal. But he handled it like a pro. Now, the bullpen is likely going to be a committee situation. You're going to see different guys getting chances late in games, and honestly, that might not be a bad thing right now. Let guys earn it. Now, let's talk about the rest of the injuries, because this is where the optimism starts to build. George Springer is close. Like, really close. He's already hitting, already moving around, just hasn't fully run the bases yet. That's usually the last step. So you're probably looking at a return within days, not weeks. And that's massive. Because when he's in the lineup, it changes everything. The energy, the experience, the at-bats, it all matters. You've also got Barger progressing, Jimmy Garcia slowly working his way back, and even though Shane Bieber is still about a month away, the overall trend is clear. This team is getting healthier. And they need it because let's talk about the elephant in the room. Max Scherzer. That last start? Rough is putting it lightly. Giving up a bunch of runs early, putting the team in a hole right away, that's tough to come back from, even when the offense is starting to show signs of life. And that's the frustrating part. The offense is actually looking better. The bullpen has had some strong moments. But when your starter digs you into a hole that early, it's hard to recover. Now, Scherzer says it's not injury-related. He says it's execution. And honestly, that might be the bigger concern. Because if it's not physical, then it's about adjustments. And at this stage in his career, those adjustments need to happen fast. So when you put everything together, here's where things stand. You've got a team under .500, but not out of it. You've got injuries, but guys are coming back. You've got underperformance, but also signs of improvement. And now you've got a front office that's still making moves, still trying to patch holes before they become bigger problems. That's what this trade is. It's not about Willie MacIver becoming a star. It's about being ready. It's about depth. It's about surviving the chaos of a long season. Because here's the truth. Seasons don't turn on one big move. They turn on a series of small, smart decisions that add up over time. And maybe, just maybe, this is one of those. So now it comes down to execution. Can they take advantage of getting healthier? Can the rotation stabilize? Can the bullpen figure itself out? Can the offense keep trending up? Because if the answer to those questions is yes, then this record is not going to look the same in a couple of weeks. But if not, then all these moves won't matter. That's where we're at. So, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this trade? Is it a smart depth move, or does it not move the needle at all? And more importantly, do you still believe this team can turn it around? Because the next stretch of games is going to tell us everything.